Thank you for tuning in to another Spicy Toast video. Today we're going to be going over the top 3 champions that utilize Galeforce the best. So if you enjoy this type of video, please like, subscribe, and let's get into it. First up, we have Jax. So Jax scales very strong with attacking multiple times. His star powers give him bonus stats, and his equipment bonus stats based on attacking. So for Jax, being able to use that Gale Force lets him be able to win normally within the first 2 rounds. He can win very quickly, and Gale Force really utilizes that. Also, the recall effect doesn't really bother Jax, as most of the buffs are going to his equipment. So even when you play him again, he's not actually losing out on too many of his bonus stats, and he can still win the game very fast. I would say Gale Force is probably the best relic for Jax and really helps you get a lot of OTKs and very fast matches. So I think Jax is one of the champions that utilizes Gale Force to its fullest. But I think we have a couple of the champions that utilize it a bit better than he can. So next up for Gale Force, we have Diana. Now, Diana, if you have her at 3 stars, she gets double attack when you summon her with Nightfall. So Gale Force plus the Troll King's Crown means that she's able to hit for massive damage and get probably more OTKs than any other champion. OTK is winning in a single round, and Diana can get that more consistently than just about any other champion, and that's really utilized by Gale Force being able to attack twice every single round with that double attack. And since she is such a low cost, being able to play her every round is not really a detriment. So Diana is one of the best champions that utilizes Gale Force, at least in my opinion. Up next for a honorable mention, we do have Annie. So Annie uses Gale Force, but in a bit of a different way than most of the other champions. She's more focused on the recall aspect of it than actually the scout attack. Now, the scout attacks can still work well, but you really care about that recalling aspect. That's because of Guardian's Orb and the Dreadway Chase Gun. So the Guardian Orb is, when I'm summoned, grant epic items to 3 or random cards in your deck, and the Chase Gun, when I'm summoned, create 2 warning shots. Now, those warning shots are a 0-cost burst, deal 1 to the enemy nexus, except in Annie's case, because of her star powers, that damage is able to be increased substantially. So because of these 2 relics, Annie's able to utilize Gale Force quite well. I would say not quite as well as some of the other champions we've mentioned, but that recall aspect really works great for Annie and really utilizes or enables some very unique builds that normally she wouldn't be able to benefit from quite as much. So for our honorable mention, I'm going to give that to Annie. So for the number 1 best champion with Gale Force, I'm going to give it to Teemo. Teemo uses it perfectly both for the scout aspect as well as the recall effect. So Teemo, elusive, Nexus Strike, plant puff caps on random cards in the enemy deck, but then when he's leveled up, his Nexus Strike is able to double the puff caps. So you're wanting to get the scout aspect of attacking multiple times, planting more puff caps, and then doubling those effects once he's leveled up. But the recall aspect also works very well, because then you can put a Gatebreaker or 2 on if you have them. So when you are summoning him again, he's hitting the Nexus, getting more double effects off, especially if you're able to get stabilize or clone your champion with like Twin Shadows. The scout effect for recalling works so well for Teemo, as well as do the 2 attacks every single round. So I think he utilizes this relic better than anyone else in the game, and it feels like a relic made for Teemo. Other people really like the scout attack, or they really like the recall element. Teemo perfectly uses both sides of this relic to their fullest potential. That's why I think Teemo is the number 1 Gale Force champion. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If there's any other champions that you think use Gale Force better, than the ones I mentioned, definitely let me know. I know it can work very well on many different champions. These were just some of the champions that I think utilize it the best. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.